Welcome to In the Toy Box, where the toys are the stars. Today we're talking about one of my favorite toys, G.I. Joe.
Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Toy Box. I'm Kevin and I'm here with
Matt.
All right, and today we're going to be talking about G.I. Joes. This is our second G.I. Joe episode. If you're not familiar, our very first episode, which you're really going to have to dig in the crates for, was about G.I. Joes. So Matt, what do we have today to talk about?
Okay, great. Well, next to me, we have the Sergeant Rock and Men of Easy Company. And these were produced by Dreams and Visions, which is some sort of, I think they're a company that created a different series of G.I. Joes. And what's great about these is they have like an animated look to them. And I was wondering why.
Their faces, you mean? Like in their face?
Yeah. I could actually
I can kind of see them. They don't have that stern look.
This is Sergeant Rock, right?
Okay. Yep.
And he has like a cartoon look.
Yep.
And the reason for that is that these are based on comic books.
Right.
The comic books began in 1959, and the first story was called Our Army at War. And I think they're still around now, like from 1959 to 2009. So it's a pretty good series. It's like I said, it's based on Sergeant Rock and the Men of Easy Company. And the Men of Easy Company is a group of soldiers that he, has in different comic books. Dreams and Visions produced 4 of the soldiers as toys. One of them we have here is Jackie Johnson, and he was probably the only African American soldier in the unit, which was kind of rare during that time.
Sure.
And some of the ones they made as toys, they had Bulldozer, Little Sure Shot, and Wild Man. And that's only like some of the ones they produced. I think there were at least 22 different soldiers that were in the Men of Easy Company during the comic book run.
Okay, but when the toys came out, that was a more recent thing, and they only had a few of the figures, is what you're saying? They only had a few of the characters?
Yeah, I guess they just chose we'll pick Sergeant Rock, and we'll pick 4 of the soldiers from the comic books. I don't know if they did them randomly or how they chose them.
Right, you would think more prominent figures, but who knows? I didn't get into the comics, but it's awesome that they made some comics come into the toy realm. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the names, if you've caught them, they're kind of weird. Some of them in front of me, the Wild Man and Bulldozer. You're like, well, what are these? And I did some research on it, and it said that Sergeant Rock came up with nicknames for his soldiers, so to give them an alternate identity. So when they returned home as civilians, they weren't the people that were on the battlefield. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is very cool. It
So
seems
the
like
more I learned about these toys, I thought, well, wow, what a background story on these toys. It's really cool.
Yeah, that actually carried through, I feel like, through a lot of the G.I. Joe toys in the future. It's always like, this guy's codename this or codename that. You know what I mean? It was like their regular name and their code name.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I could show you actually a more close-up look of him.
Yeah.
The helmet comes off. They come with maybe one accessory, like a weapon, and so to speak. But actually, if you see him close up,
yeah,
he's pretty cool.
Animated. Yeah, definitely very cool looking. Yeah. And I love the cloth costume. And how is the body? Is it like the original type?
It's pretty movable. It's like an original style G.I. Joe.
Yep.
I mean, everything on it is really nice. I mean, if you think
about
Kung
Fu Grip, is that Kung Fu Grip? I think it is.
No, it's not.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay. But basically, they're pretty much like the original G.I. Joes, but as far as appearance, I think I give them an A+ for appearance.
Yeah, they're really cool. I love the story. I love the boxes too. Like it gives you that comic book feel.
Right.
Really, really beautiful toys.
Yeah. So these are the Sergeant Rock and Men of Easy Company.
Love them.
Welcome to the world of G.I. Joe. There are many G.I. Joe action figures. The action figures standing in the center are custom G.I. Joes. They are similar to the G.I. Joe Adventure Team seen here. Customizing may include a full beard, a goatee, or simply a mustache. You choose from many different heads, then body style, and lastly, clothing and gear. Each of these are representations of custom G.I. Joes. World Peacekeepers by Power Team Elite are what I like to call G.I. Joe knockoffs. They are similar in size to G.I. Joes and come complete with just as many accessories, vehicles, and playsets. G.I. Joe Baroness is a villain from the G.I. Joe movie Rise of Cobra. Portrayed by actress Sienna Miller, she is seen here with her accessories. G.I. Jane serves in the United States Army as a well-trained helicopter pilot. Mademoiselle Marie is a French resistance fighter from World War II and an ally to Sergeant Rock and the Men of Easy Company. She is also known to be the love interest of Sergeant Rock in the fictional stories of DC Comics. So G.I. Joe made it to the big screen back like about 10, 12 years ago in the rise of
2009, right?
Yeah, 2009. Yeah.
Why do you say it like, yeah. Is it not a great flick? I mean, I haven't seen it, so.
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't, I don't really want to knock it. I mean, it's not one of my favorite films, let's just put it that way.
Okay.
But the toys are its saving grace. They came out with a line of toys based on the figures. These are 12-inch figures. This one here in front of me is Hawk. He's one of the heroes of the movie.
Okay.
And it's portrayed by Dennis Quaid.
Wow.
And
Tilt him up a little bit. Like. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
besides,
That's perfect. Oh, that's a good profile. Looks just like Dennis Quaid.
movement's pretty good. What is kind of weird about these and like the newer GI Joes that came out during that time was that they couldn't like decide like, okay, we're going to give him like clothes, like some pants, but we're going to paint his shirt.
You're right. You know, I didn't really notice that because I have them in front of me as well from the same movie line. But yeah.
I don't know what the thought process was on that, but it was like, I don't know. It was like, you know, I've seen some GI Joes, even like that aren't particular that part of this movie that they did the same thing.
Yeah, like a half and half, painted, and
It's kind of different. I don't know how I feel about it. It's just kind of like make up your mind. I don't know. But anyway, let me introduce some of these other characters, and then you could, you know, we have the Neo Viper, which is pretty much like the stormtrooper of the GI Joe world. He's
the bad guy.
He has to. I think he has this mask. Let me see. No, he must just wear this for show. But this is what they look like, and they're supposed to be, you know, impervious to pain and fear. So it's a nice.
He's a manufactured robot of Cobra.
Yeah, nice guy to have on your team.
I agree.
Another villain is the Cobra Commander, and he's the one that he has to wear this mask because of something that happened, a tragic accident that scarred his face and left him unable to breathe. So I guess this mask, when he puts it on, helps him breathe. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Cobra Commander has always been. I have a Cobra Commander right behind me. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it at home.
Right.
Always wore like a drape over his head. I didn't know he had any trouble breathing, but I mean,
Yeah,
That would make sense. He always had kind of a raspy voice, so
it could have just been for the movie version.
right.
Their explanation. I don't know.
Right.
And the last one I have is the Baroness, which she's pretty cool. She's a different line. This was made by a different company, a much more
High scale.
high
They can tell
scale.
from here that she looks pretty top notch in terms of the toy goes at least.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, she comes in like what feels almost like a velvet case, and
Yep.
and then fits into like a cardboard box. So it's the packaging.
She's one of the main. She's one of the main characters in the movie.
She is.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I've only got one hero on my side. So what do you have over there?
Well, in terms of heroes, I got three. We have a lot of I think GI Joe aficionados would know as Duke. When I was growing up, Duke was like the main. He's like the captain or the sergeant. I'm not sure if he's what he is, but he's the leader of the team basically.
Right.
And this is displayed. This is a portrait, I should say, by Channing Tatum.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you guys can see. I'll try and hold them as close as I can.
Yep.
It looks just like them. These toys really, for what they did, I mean, they look a lot like the characters. I mean, or the actors who played them. But Duke is the captain, and then right next to him we have Heavy Duty. He is the actor is Adewale Akanuye. So he looks all these. They look just like the actors. He actually, you can see his earring. I'm going to try to show you. They really did like a really cool job on these guys. So all their like little attributes are displayed in the figures. Again, like you said, some of the clothing is plastic, but then all the stuff that drapes over it is cloth. So to my left, we have another villain, Destro.
Right.
And love Destro. Who doesn't love a villain who is clad in metal, especially on his face?
Yeah.
I don't know how they displayed it in the movie, but he has some sort of mishap. He needs to wear the metal face covering. I'm not a huge fan that for the movie's sake that they put him in a suit.
Right.
I think it makes sense because it's like I've always loved bad guys. For some reason, they always have the cool armor. They have the cool this and that. Put this son of a gun in his suit, and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh, that isn't that cool.
Well, maybe this Destro attended a lot of meetings.
I think you're right. I think he is like he's the head, or he's like one of the major founding figures of
Cobra.
Cobra. Yeah. So it's like so maybe he's the guy who goes and he's the leader who goes to the meetings.
Right.
And then right next to him, we have Ripcord, who has the cool accessories, and he is played by Marlon Wayans. Again, the figure looks just like Marlon Wayans. It's incredible. But he also, I'm pretty sure he has some sort of something wrong with his body where he has to wear some sort of armor, and it gives him some extra strength and stuff. The best thing about GI Joe to me is that all these guys, they have like their specialty. They're Ripcord might be good with like small artillery, and then other guys have this other thing that they're specializing in it, where it might be like kung fu or whatever, and then when they come together, they're like an unstoppable force.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the GI Joe line. I mean, and it's like, as you said, maybe this movie version isn't the best, but at least they're continuing on. They're bringing these people to the forefront, and they're really doing something special where they're just continuing on and furthering it for the next generation.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree. These GI Joes, they're a little different. The head sculpt is incredible.
Yeah,
Whoever did them, especially for a toy, because we know high-end toys sculpts are usually incredible anyway. But for a toy that's
it's made me play with.
Inexpensive and you can pick up at your local toy store, is just it's
I agree.
It was great work done on these.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. Those two movies might not be the best, but the toys,
Yeah.
pretty good.
A plus.
Plus, plus, plus.
Gosh, someone is signaling with a flashlight. And a whistle. And a clicker. He has a signal wrist flashlight. This plastic flashlight sends out red, green, or white beams of light. And here's the clicker and the whistle.
On August 24th, G.I. Joe was on a routine training flight when his jet plane malfunctioned. He successfully parachuted out and landed in the ocean miles from shore. He used his survival training as he battled the elements for 3 days. Eventually, he washed up on a beach only to face a new enemy, one he had never encountered before. He described them as otherworldly. They captured G.I. Joe and brought him to a wooded area where he was kept under close guard. Military command, using advanced technology and G.I. Joe's last known coordinates, was able to approximate his location. A rescue team was dispatched. Surveillance determined his exact position and moved in. A struggle ensued between the captors and the rescuers. In the end, the captors were defeated and G.I. Joe's rescue was secured.
Today on Destination Hobbies, we go on a virtual visit to check out our friend Steve's epic collection of small-scale Joes. Destination Hobbies!
Are we there yet?
Welcome to the Destination Hobbies segment of In the Toy Box. And today we're talking to Steve Dupuy. Wave to the camera, Steve.
Hey, guys.
So where did your love of G.I. Joes come from, Steve?
Oh, boy. Well, being an 80s kid, I love all the toys from the 80s. And really it started with the cartoons, right? They made these cartoons to sell the toys. So watching those cartoons growing up, you know, you had to have the toys alongside you when you had your bowl of Cookie Crisp on Saturday mornings to watch the cartoons with.
When did you start your collecting? At a young age, or?
I actually started collecting back in 2015 or 16. I got back into it because I moved so often. I moved from California to here, and then I had 3 houses since I moved to here 8 years ago. And I opened up a little chest that I had, and it had a little Wicket Ewok character from Star Wars in it from like 79. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, man, this whole nostalgia just came over my head. I was like, I want all my toys back. When I did get that nostalgia, I looked on eBay. I was like, well, you know what? I wonder how much Firefly costs from G.I. Joe. It would be awesome to see him again. So I looked it up on eBay. It was only like $10. So I told the wife to grab him for Christmas, just being funny. And then she got it. And then when I was holding him again, like I said, the nostalgia wave just hit me. I said, well, the floodgates are open. I'm going to need a lot more than that.
So do you have like a favorite character or a favorite G.I. Joe?
When it really comes down to it, Firefly, Storm Shadow is my favorite. I have Storm Shadows from 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Whatever they came out with Storm Shadow for the next year, I get him as well. And I have a lot of them up here.
Now, is there a toy in your collection that you would consider like a prized piece or something that's special to you?
Yeah, they're so special. All of them are so special because every single one of these guys sort of speaks of a journey of how I got it, But this guy right here was a little harder to come by. And it's not like he's super rare, but he's harder to get because it's from Europe. It's a Europe line of G.I. Joe, and he's called, this is Escape Armor. That one's a little bit more special to me just because of the way that I got him, I guess. It was a harder journey. I had to go through Facebook groups, through Europe Facebook groups, and I found one. They all spoke French in there, so I Google translated my words to say, I'm looking for Escape Armor, put that in the group. Someone messaged me in French that they had Escape Armor. And then I had to translate that, put it back that I was interested. And then he told me a price, and then I had to convert that to US money and then be able to PayPal him in his French, whatever those dollars are called, to be able to actually make the deal and then hope I actually got it. Right. So the journey of getting that one, he stands out to me. So there are some obscure G.I. Joe that came out in the 80s. Back in the day, Sergeant Slaughter, he was in the WWF, right?
I remember that.
Sergeant Slaughter had a 1-900 phone number, and you could call that and hear Sergeant Slaughter's voice like, hey, you, sign up for the Army or go get my G.I. Joe. Whatever. They had the Street Fighter series, which came out in the 90s. So Street Fighter.
Oh, it's great.
They had all their own guys, and I have a couple of them holding. You can see Dalzim. Can you see him holding a nice the Refrigerator Perry? He was a football player in the Bears, right? I think he was in the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
But I guess he was jealous and he wanted his own G.I. Joe too. So they had to incorporate him into a cartoon episode and say hey, all right, well, here's some lines, Fridge. Speak up. And they're like, can I have a football hammer? Sure you can.
Well, on behalf of all the viewers out there and myself and Matthew and everyone in the Toy Box, we really want to thank you for a glimpse into your excellent collection of 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joes.
This military vehicle was produced by 21st Century Toys, a rival company to Hasbro's G.I. Joe. Accompanied by one G.I. Joe, this Hummer is ready for action, complete with opening doors as well as an opening rear door. This Fire Command vehicle is another fine production by 21st Century Toys. It comes complete with opening doors and many accessories. These two G.I. Joe firemen are ready to assist in any emergency. This G.I. Joe Jeep Rhino is part of the 1993 Hall of Fame line of G.I. Joe. Whether you're a G.I. Joe soldier or adventurer, this Jeep's got you covered. With its extra large wheels and defense weaponry, G.I. Joe will triumph over evil forces. To assist G.I. Joe in the air, this Panther jet is a reproduction of the 1960s version of the toy, seen here with one G.I. Joe pilot. In 1941, the U.S. produced 88,000 Harley-Davidsons, all specifically modified for use during World War II. It gained the name the Liberator in an effort to help free Europe.
In the 90s, Hasbro's G.I. Joe ushered in a new era of greatness with the Hall of Fame toy line. Each 12-inch figure features a combination plastic and rubber body with pop and lock posability, a unique uniform with metal dog tags, and an abundant accessory arsenal. The box also includes a cutout dog tag that highlights special information about your code-named comrade. These real American heroes include Duke, a master sergeant and the unofficial leader of the G.I. Joes. Stalker, a ranger specializing in long-range reconnaissance patrol. Ace, a fighter pilot with the utmost of aviation expertise. Flint, a Green Beret known for being a top-notch tactical planner. Storm Shadow, leader of the humble G.I. Joe Ninja Force. Snake Eyes, a martial arts commando who studied in the G.I. Joe Ninja Force. Gung Ho, a U.S. Marine with a reputation for being most dangerous. Rock and Roll, a heavy weapons gunner whose strength is only outweighed by his firepower. The evil Cobra enemies include Destro, a dangerous weapons dealer who dons a steel mask as part of a felonious family tradition. Major Blood, a two-timing military terrorist with expertise in the art of escape. And the terrible Cobra Force leader, aptly named the Cobra Commander, a power-hungry tyrant who wants to rule the world. With a lineup featuring such exciting heroes and battle-worthy bad guys, it's easy to understand why these collectible commandos wear the title Hall of Fame.